Within the museum itself, it starts off in a hallway that leads you to the petite gallery right here. It'll allow you to go forward from the hallway, and throughout that hallway you can also see different kinds of artists, though it doesn't really allow you to see every type of artist currently on display properly, so it at least allows you to do that. And it'll lead you upwards into the first part of the museum, which would be the more signature parts of it, or I would say more like the appetizer-esque parts, where it allows you to see almost one of everything that'll be on display within the farther parts of the museum down there. You can also see right here the statue of Venus and Cupid. It keeps on popping up with auto portraits, but down there you can see them. This is a statue of Venus herself, which is the goddess of beauty, similar to Aphrodite. And over here, though it doesn't allow you to see more specifically what they all are, you can see a mask, bell, you can see a cup with its lid, and a small statue over here. Along with, on the other side, you can see a small portrait of the Louvre itself during its earlier years, and another portrait done by an artist that encapsulates what type of materials that they use for their craft. Now over here and further down into the museum, you can see a section of self-portraits done by various artists, both on the left side and on the right side. Most of them are all, or if not all of them, are oil paintings done by various artists. You can see the amazing attention to detail, even off of an iPhone, of how realistic majority of them all are, if not completely realistic. Even with the older, more worn down ones, you can still definitely tell what they're trying to encapsulate within their pieces. Even with this one as well, if I can load it up, you have the artist along with their child. Let me see here if I scroll back over here. Further down into the museum, it'll lead you into another small corridor where you can see fully the statue of Venus and Cupid, which it also says here as well. And then it'll allow you to go into the further part of the museum, the final part for this period of history, where you can see much more harder to find works or harder to find elements of art, such as these head busts, which don't really allow me to see what they are in full detail, but I can also see these types of paintings over on these ends, along on the other side as well, that show not only just great paintings, but even the framework themselves off of the paintings, I would say, are extremely good. I don't really get to see these types of frames anywhere, if not at all, but I think they're extremely interesting to look at. Not even if it's just more simplistic ones, such as the oval one, they're always interesting to see during this period. I don't normally get to see types of art like this every day, especially with the framing off of that one as well. I think looks really good. They're mainly just self-portraits or portraits of other people, such as this one, which is a self-portrait of the artist holding their own art, portrait of themselves here. There's one right here, I believe, of two other people. It doesn't really describe if they're the artist themselves or not. This photo right here also describes the art as just being of a random person. Doesn't really give a proper description of if it's meant to be the artist themselves or not, or if it's just an actual random person. But I still think beauty-wise, it comes out very good. The very small attentions to detail that you can find within it. Obviously, it's just virtual, so you don't get to see it properly as if you got to saw it in person, but I still think a lot of the art here is extremely great. My favorite piece out of all of these is this one here, which is the Charles X giving his awards out at the Louvre. I think it looks really good. Having art that's that huge and having it be that detailed is extremely hard to come by, and I think if you ever have the chance to stop by in real life to see it, I would 100% give it a try.